Hi, I'm Brian Eisenhower, and I'm here with Elizabeth Gilbert and Michelle Grace. Elizabeth runs the administrative side as the Chief Operations Officer and Office Manager of the top producing Ron Henderson team that's on track to sell $25 million in sales volume this year. And Michelle is the Office Manager of the E.D. Waters team, which is a $40 million a year real estate team as well. So guys, thank you so much for your time here. Putting together a little bit of a segment about running the admin side of a real estate team, because you guys need to think about being leaders too. Your teams are selling at levels where you two need to actually think about giving your jobs away. It's been so much focus in the past at this point on taking away a lot of the tasks of the lead agent, but now you guys are getting forced to move into a leadership role and have been for quite some time. So I want to talk about that. Why do you guys have to worry about leveraging as well?
Well, you know, sales keep going up. That's the whole point of, you know, running a real estate team, is to be successful. Mm-hmm. And as sales increase, the admin side gets heavier and heavier in paperwork and customer service. And over time, customer service can dwindle if there's too many contracts to handle. And so there comes a point where the admin side has to leverage and hire more people to handle all of the additional stuff that's coming in. And that's a process that the admin can totally handle. Hiring another person, looking for the right personality to fit that role is a process.
Right.
And once the process is through, you've got all your bases covered on the admin side, so that customers are getting the service at a much higher level than they were when you just had one admin. Now you've got two doing it, and yeah, it's a game changer.
Right. Okay. Well, I heard a lot of good stuff in there. Mm-hmm. One thing I want to talk about is you just talked about how you, as the administrative head of your team, you actually were the person that went out and hired an additional administrative person.
Yep.
So that's an example of, you always hear the old adage in running a real estate team, that your first hire should be your last. That means if you make a good first hire like Ron did with mm-hmm. Elizabeth, then he can lean on Elizabeth to make that second hire.
Right.
When that team's production gets so high. And Michelle, I know one thing that you've learned over the course of time is that all of your training doesn't necessarily come from your lead agent. You have other sources that help you, that have helped you run and manage and lead a real estate team.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, just learning all you can about everything. I kind of like to think of myself as a source of information for the other admins and agents on our team.
Right.
And I'm in the office probably more than anybody. I'm easily accessible. I have Google in front of me, and you know, we can get answers for just about anything or anybody.
Right. You also lean on, you've had a coach, correct?
Correct.
So that will help you with getting your systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
And that coach isn't necessarily the lead agent, Edie, who runs the team.
Right. It's an outside coach, and Edie thought it was a wise investment in the team, not just for my personal information, but what I can bring back and share with the team. And I think it's a terrific focus on where we need to go with the team and a reminder of how to do it.
Right, and you've similar experience, mm-hmm. correct?
Yeah, the coach has been so helpful. I mean, everything that the coach has helped me with has benefited the entire team. We're doing more sales, we have better systems. Everything is going much more smoothly now with a coach than before we had a coach, because now we have direction.
Yeah, what's so funny is so many lead agents, they talk about like bringing on administrative support, and what they'll do is they're focused about them training the admin support, which is so crazy. I mean, you're bringing on someone to be the manager of your business because you as a lead agent are not a good manager.
Right.
So why on earth is a bad manager training someone to be a good manager? Leverage that. Find a who. Find another system. Find someone that's already doing it right and use them. And we talk about, I know with you guys, you're kind of in unique positions where Elizabeth just came out of training another administrator on her team, and you're about moving into that area where you're hiring your third now. where you're about to embark upon the training process with a third because your teams are rising at such a successful level. Talk about that. What's that like? Tell me about how you have to go backwards before you go forward.
Oh gosh. Well, of course, to train somebody and to take them through the whole process of what to do slows down that side, the admin side of the business. And that's okay, because in order to move leaps and bounds forward, you have to take that step back, slow things down, get through the training process, and the other side is totally smooth sailing. Now that we're on the other side, it's a breath of fresh air. But the going back part was so worth it. However, at the sales side, if they keep their foot on the gas pedal to keep the business coming in so that we don't take a step back as far as production goes, that's the key to the whole thing.
That really is, isn't it? It's so crazy how I remember working with you, and I remember you had already gone through the entire interview process, conducted 2 behavioral assessments, and completely worked your whole way through multiple interviews with your new hire when your lead agent actually met this person for the first time.
Yeah, because I didn't want to burden him with that.
Right.
He didn't need to be involved in that process because ultimately that person is my responsibility. And whether she did or didn't work out wasn't on him, it was on me.
Absolutely. I really like that. I really like that. And just one real last quick tip I want to talk about too, because I know you guys know this is important. You know, a lot of agents out there watching will get worried about hiring all these admin staff members and all the costs associated. There's a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Isn't that one thing you guys kind of adhere to?
It is about that. For every salesperson that is on the team, one admin to go with that person and be the support is ideal. It doesn't always work out that way, but as production ramps up, that seems to be the ratio that works out the best and keeps everybody happy.
Agreed, and it's that ratio. For that to work, and that sounds very scary, I'm sure, to a lot of realtors out there because of all the costs, but that one sales side has to be a top producer. So you need to get everything, I mean, you need to have producers and talent at every position. You've got a buyer's specialist that sells 40 units a year, and you at 9 million. Those are numbers for individual agents, but your buyer's specialists, not your lead agents, are producing like top producers. So if you have that much income coming in, you're going to need to support them if you want to continue to grow.
Right.
So guys, thank you so much for your time with us today. Thank you guys too.